You wrote in your book on Resilient Nations, you wrote about the life cycle of nations, and you talked about the fall of Rome, and you talked about what other nations have gone through. Where are we now in America?
Yeah, well, I think we're at a very dark time. In that book, I did a study of 3 epochs in American history, 1740 to 1960, 1960 to 2001, 2001 till present, at the time written in 2014. We were a resilient nation for that first epoch. The second epoch, 1960s, abortion, taking 10 Commandments out of schools and so forth, we started this moral decline. But then in 2001, for a number of reasons, one that relates to what we're talking about a bit later, economy, was the deficit that started building and building and building about that time. I felt like we were in moral freefall then, but now, over the Obama years, frankly, we have truly been in moral freefall. And now as we see President Biden administration and all of the left...
Which is like a third Obama term in so many ways.
It certainly is, right, yeah. So it just continues that moral freefall. So I think we're in bad shape. I tell a story in Resilient Nations you might be interested in. 2 slave boys, about 400 AD, sitting on top of the Capitoline Hill overlooking the destroyed city of Rome. And they comment that the great obelisks are falling down there in multiple pieces like the broken arms of a giant. You have pigs and other things that are buffalo roaming in the Capitol ruins where the Roman senators used to deliberate. So transfer that now to today. Picture 2 boys sitting on Custer Terrace, Arlington Cemetery, looking down over the Washington Mall. Picture it 50 years from now, 100 years from now, whenever. Will Lincoln be pulled off of his perch into the reflecting pool? Will the Washington Monument be toppled like the arms of a great giant?
Oh, metaphorically, they already have been.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We've besmirched Lincoln, we've besmirched Washington and Jefferson.
That's right. Yeah, Jefferson sitting among the great words of our Constitution and the Founding Fathers. You're exactly right. Perhaps those things are already leaning, if not in some ways fallen symbolically already. You're exactly right.
So how do we find our way home? What do we do to get back to the bedrock values we had?
Right. Well, first, we talked about vital optimism earlier. I think it's important for the stalwarts in America, the great patriots, to maintain their vital optimism. I mean, we can't give up. It takes courage. Courage is holding on 10 seconds longer, and another 10 seconds, another 10 seconds. We have to hold on, and we have to fight at every cultural hedgerow, just like across Europe. We have to fight, on the abortion front. We have to fight on the education front. We have to fight on the nuclear family front, traditional family. There's a whole bunch of battlefronts. And my thought, Kevin, is that a lot of people want to be in charge of a grand strategy and we're all going to go do this on this objective.
Right.
I think God is the general, and I think that He has the grand strategy, and each one of us, like you in a specific focused way and me in another specific focused way, if we're all attacking on a broad front, all listening to the Lord in terms of calling, and if we're doing that, then God's going to accomplish His grand strategy. But He needs foot soldiers and battle captains like us to be doing as He calls us to do. Otherwise, we'll just be defeated in detail.
Well, and I like your Dunkirk analogy because they were small ships. They were individuals who individually could not make a difference in the war. There's no way you happen to have a pleasure craft or a fishing trawler that you could change the outcome of history.
Right.
But looking back, in so many ways, that evacuation of 300,000 British soldiers may have won the war. Hitler may have lost at that moment. Right. He just didn't realize it.
Right.